Hello Pisces, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Cosmic Tarot by Tilly Walden. It's in the front, right? Yeah. Where is your email? There we go. Your website is liminal11.com if you want to check out this deck or Tilly's stuff. Feel free to do that. Supportive Oracle cards. Magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. And there's the Hay House. Is it Hay House? Yep, Hay House. At the bottom there. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you want to. Okay. I'm excited. Okay. Why are we excited? I don't know. Let's find out. At some point in the video, I usually say that I'm a Pisces too, and I am. So there you go. This is good, but like, okay, so it's good, okay. Something's starting. Something is starting. The question is what? I also get like it's starting slow, which is 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. I don't know if you're going to really like that it's starting slow. You might. I feel like in the long run, when you look back, the fact that it started slow is very good. But when this starts happening, I feel like it's very exciting. And I feel like I'd like it to be a little bit more advanced than it is. New beginning. This is definitely a new beginning. I'm trying to keep the light from glaring, but I'm failing at that apparently. It's good. I mean, I get that it's good, but like there's something here. Whatever's coming in. So it can be a range of things. It's a general reading. I don't want to discount romance. Like I don't want to pretend like that's not possible, because it is. I feel like you're going to know within the next week where this actually links up. For some of you, this is business. I get like schooling coming forward, like getting into schooling again in some respect, but getting into it slowly and kind of like I'm not really sure how far I'm going to go with it. So I'm just going to like maybe just take a course or two or deal with a course or two. Others of you, it could be a friendship, just to be fair, because I do feel like new people are coming in one way or another. But whatever's coming in has not really fully developed. I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe it is. I'm gonna go there with the romance thing just to start off with, just for a second. I don't like to center it too much on that. And keep in mind, this could apply a different way. But I keep getting the analogy of somebody showing interest in you, but they're not, like, this is just somebody getting to know you, if we're going to use that analogy. Like, I don't see any, like, fireworks for them right off the bat. It's like they haven't really come to terms with something yet, or they haven't made the round. They haven't come around the bend quite yet. It's like they know they really like you, but they don't really link up to the full feeling yet. And I feel like if you do, that could be a little upsetting. So I feel like that's one of the reasons I'm like, this is starting slow, but when this does click into gear, it's going to stay. Just in case it's that. Because I feel like it's kind of like, wait a minute, how come I know how I feel and they don't? Because sometimes people get a little bent out of shape because they don't understand somebody falling, if this is a romance thing, sometimes people do fall in love slowly. Sometimes people take a minute to really click into that feeling. It's not a bad thing, but it can make somebody else very insecure. It can. I'm saying that as a Pisces, because it can kind of throw you off, like, how come I know how I feel and they don't know how they feel? It's just how they go about it. It's just being patient with it, pulling back, realize, like, not getting too caught up in it, kind of like more might happen here. So I'm going to also, like, I want to parallel this over to a different situation, because I'm seeing a house. Something with a house, I'm seeing like I would call it a little house, maybe like I feel like it has like 3 bedrooms. I don't know why. I'm going to go with it. 3 bedrooms, but they're small. But I feel like this is a place that has potential. And it's kind of like, it doesn't look like it's kind of like coming into something. It's kind of like, this is a small house. It has technically 3 bedrooms, but they're small. And it's kind of like, what can be done here? What can be developed? I don't know why I'm going there with this, but in case somebody's like looking at a house and they're like, well, what potential does this have? Could this be for me? It's a slow build. It's a slow working situation. There's a lot more to come with this. Whatever this starts as, I keep feeling like whatever this situation is, no matter how it connects, romance, business, buying a house, getting into schooling, this is definitely something that starts off really slow, and I feel like I know what I want, and I'm not really sure this links up correctly. I feel like that's what I'm trying to get at. Ironically, it does link up correctly, but it's going to need some time to really show its benefit, to really show how it does match. This needs time to develop. We got 2 cards here. The Magical Powers, to me, is a very magician card. I'm not really remembering if it's supposed to be or not, but that's how I always read it, or how I tend to read it. You got the Ace of Pentacles coming in saying this needs time to develop, but this is going to be a worthwhile venture. This is something when it does hit its full maturity, it's going to be exactly what you need and what you want, but there's going to be a lot of work that comes forward. This is also something, whatever this is, be it romance or something else, business. There's something else, I'm not clicking on what it actually is, but like there's another thing floating there. I'm sure it'll pop in at some point. Whatever it is, it does link up with your visionary prowess. I'm saying this as a Pisces, I'm like, is this just a really creative way of saying it links up with your dreamy ability? Pisces tend to be able to dream, and we dream well. The trick with Pisces is to take those dreams and create something in reality with them, not to just enjoy the dream, because it's easy to do that. And I'm a Pisces, was raised by 2 Pisces, so it's like to have good thoughts and have fun thoughts and enjoy that daydream, but never make something of it it's kind of an easy thing to happen to Pisces. It's something we don't want to get stuck in. We want to make sure that we dream and we enjoy our dreams. Not every dream is going to come to reality, but when we do find one we really want, to start moving that forward into reality and bring our dreams into reality. And whatever this is, it does link up with your dream ability. But I feel like this might be somebody or something that is bringing a dream into reality. This is kind of like you have really good talents, you have really good thoughts, you're very creative, and they want to pull this in. It doesn't have to be romance, but whatever you're connecting with this, somebody else is seeing potential in you and says, hey, Pisces, that's great, you're awesome, let's bring that into your actual life. Let's not just keep it here, let's bring it here into tangible life. Whoever this is linking up in that fashion, kind of like they see great things with you, and they want this to happen. They want to be a part of it. I feel like a lot of Pisces are very artistic. I do. I feel like a lot of us are. And this is also having a lot of those creative things and thoughts. But for example, if say drawing is your thing, or painting is your thing, or sculpture is your thing, whatever, just for an example, this is where you start developing and I feel like the hard part is you want to make these things, you want to create these things, but in the beginning it's it looks better in your brain than it does on paper or in tangible life. This is that moment where you got to give yourself time and keep working at it and keep trying to bring whatever it is to reality. Sometimes it's hard to make these dreams become reality, but it's definitely doable. And there's somebody here who's like, yes, I will work with you. We will keep working at this. We will keep making it move forward. And it will become that true beauty that you're visualizing in your brain. We got to bring this into reality. It's not like a 5-minute thing. With this Ace of Pentacles, it's kind of like let's take that thought, let's take that vision, and keep working at it and working at it and developing it to make that beauty in your brain a beauty in reality for all of us, for you and for whoever this is. It doesn't have to be romance. I feel like I have to keep saying that. Very, very excited. You really are igniting somebody. Could be romance, doesn't have to be. I'm just trying to say in that. Something with the head. What's up with that? So we got the World card and we got the energy. Don't get too caught up in your thoughts. And don't, I don't like that. Be kind to yourself, but kind of like, give yourself the grace to realize it doesn't all have to happen today. It doesn't have to all happen this week, this month, even this year for some of you. I'm a planner in some respect. So if you make goals for yourself and you try to stick with those goals and you can hold to those goals, just give yourself a break. Give yourself a break and keep celebrating your accomplishments. Every time you excel forward, be careful of that you don't like beat yourself down like, yeah, I've moved forward, but I'm behind on where I wanted to be. I feel like that's a trap that a lot of people get stuck in. It's kind of like I see some of you doing well, but then immediately belittling yourself, kind of like, you know, how do I put this? It's kind of like, let me make it really easy. I wanted to be 5 miles down the road, and I'm actually 20 feet. So it's kind of like, you've made it 20 feet. That's a great accomplishment, but I feel like then you're beating yourself up. Yeah, but I should have been 5 miles down the road by now. The challenge is to like celebrate your 20 feet and kind of like, all right, I'm not 5 miles, but I'm farther than I was. Let me keep at it. And you know what? It may take you 10 times as long to get to that 5 miles, but when you do get to it, you know, at least you got to it. You got to be careful not to beat yourself up about your accomplishments, because I keep seeing somebody do that. Like you actually make movement forward, but it's like for some reason it's like it's not good enough. Also, be very well aware. It's making me stutter because I feel like somebody else. Be very well aware of other people who do that to you, where you make an accomplishment and it's kind of like you're 20 feet. Yeah, and then they look at you, you're like, yeah, Pisces, you should be 5 miles, but yeah, you're 20 feet. People who treat you like that that's not good. Whatever their problem is, it's like realizing it's their problem for one. It's a problem, that's a them problem. And then I want to be careful how I say this. It depends who it is in your life, quite frankly. I get that. I don't share things with people I don't feel are supportive. So if I have a really big goal, and I feel like, you know, I make accomplishments, and then maybe you do good, maybe you do feel good about the 20 feet. And then this person's like, Pisces, really? 20 feet? You should be at 5 miles. And like, they treat you like that, they knock you down. I don't share things with people like that. And then I get this sometimes from people later, like, you don't talk, you don't tell me things. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, because you're a jerk. But, because you're a jerk. But be selective about what you will and won't share with certain people. If somebody's like that, and they're going to be in your life, like if they're a coworker, haven't we all had that problem? You just have this person, you're like, oh, we got to play nice with this person. Don't include them in that type of stuff, you know, or, you know, try to block it from them. It may, I don't know, that's how I handle that. I just start, and I get a little cold with people like that, not mean, but I just stop talking to them after a while, and I just don't tell them things, and just when they tell me stuff, maybe I just kind of go blank face on them, and I'm like, you know, I don't like telling them stuff about my life, and I'm really not interested in hearing about their life anymore, because good luck, good life, but like the way they treat me, I'm like, I'm not really interested. Like, you can go. Maybe that's rude, maybe it's not. Be very well aware of people who treat you like that, especially if it's a coworker, because it's just I don't know, what can you do with that? What can you really do with that? But they're saying, don't let other people knock yourself down. Don't knock yourself down. Beware of like how you're treating yourself, stuff like that, because you got really good things coming up, but the pace may not be like your pace is your pace. Success is success. You know what I mean? And celebrate what you're doing going forward. If it takes you 10 times as long as somebody else, you're not somebody else. Especially if you're comparing yourself to like a Leo or somebody like that. Like the reason I'm saying Leo is because Leo is very dynamic. They go fast. They get a lot done. They're awesome. They are. And I feel like if you're comparing yourself to that energy, or even like a Scorpio, even though Scorpios are very compatible with Pisces, they're very dynamic. They get a lot done. They're boom, 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 go, go, go. Pisces and Scorpio, Pisces and Libra, Leo, whatever it might be, totally different energy. So if you're comparing yourself to somebody like that, that's really hard to keep up with, because that's just, they can't help but be really good like that. They can't help but like run forward. They can't help but, that's just their energy. Like that's just their energy. So be careful not to compare yourself to people, because they get a great outcome for you. Confidence is key. I mean, how many times have we heard that? I'm saying that as a Pisces to other Pisces, mostly Pisces. You don't have to be a Pisces to connect to this reading, but it's mostly for Pisces, of course. Confidence is key. If you're not confident, it could drown you. If you are confident, it could keep you afloat the whole way through. Keep moving at your pace. I'm getting that too with the Temperance card. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself every day, like, let yourself start anew every day. Sometimes I'll even admit I have to kind of do this. Most days are pretty good, but once in a while I get to the end of the day and I get kind of bummed out. I'm like, well, I didn't do half the stuff I was supposed to do today. And the trick is, if I let it go and make peace with it, and then I start tomorrow anew, even if the next 3 days don't go right, the trick is to like let it go, reevaluate, re-put it together, and then start building again. It's hard sometimes to let go and look back and be like, well, this is where I should have been, and let it go. But that's something that I've gotten better with over the years. But it's like, it used to be something like, oh, this is where I should be, and this is where I actually am. Prosperity's there. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Don't hold yourself to the past. Like, audit the past, learn from the past, but don't hold yourself down with the past. If you want to look back and be like, well, this is how it went, but if I had like done it this way instead, that might have gone better. Okay, try that plan, but don't beat yourself up. Don't hold yourself down by that. One of the tricks that I do is like, I set myself up a schedule, and I know, like, for example, if this day goes forward, I'm either going to do it at 9 o'clock and noon and 3, for example. And if I stick to my schedule, I'll have success. But if I miss the first one, I know how I am. I'm going to probably miss all 3 of them. So if I at least hit the first one, that's good. And I have to hold myself and keep that in my mind. If I don't do it at this time, it's gonna screw up my day. I don't know. That may be a little bit too much, but for some people it'll work. For some people it won't. Just something to try, of course. For some reason, for me, if I hit the first mark, I tend to hit the second mark, and then when it's hit the second mark, I get really excited, and I'm like, I don't want to mess it up. I've gone this far. I want to hit the third mark too, and then it seems to work out for me. If I can keep myself to that schedule, maybe that'll work for you too. Success is here, definitely here. There's a lot of good cards here. The 2 of Cups, King of Cups. These are very powerful cards for you. Be careful not to burn yourself out. Give yourself a chance. You're going to have bursts of energy. Some days you're going to want to do a lot. Other days you're not going to touch it at all. It's just going to keep going like that. I feel like that's normal for us Pisces, but keep going. Give yourself a break. Whatever it is coming forward. There is a lot of support around you. But whatever this is, again, needs time to really develop. I feel like that's a big thing with this too. Not that I'm trying to... I feel like I'm bouncing back and forth because I feel like, as a Pisces, I feel like we can defeat ourselves before other people get a chance to defeat us if we're not careful. Not that we want other people defeating us. Not that I'm not saying that. But other people are trying to help you move forward and will. Just don't be conflicted, kind of like, well, I see what they want, I see what I want, but I don't know if I can do it, and I'm looking at my own history, and I'm like, don't defeat yourself before you give yourself a chance. I feel like that's what it is too. So I just want to make sure this I'm going to kind of like sum it up, because I think we're at the end, but basically, something really good is coming in. It's not fully formed. It needs time to develop. Give yourself time to do it at your pace. Don't go by somebody else's time schedule. Don't really do yourself a favor. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just do it in a way that makes it work for you. Realize you're going to have moments where you're going to trip and fall, but just don't let that beat you up and hold you down for the whole process. Let the situation develop. There are people around you who want to support you. I would also be aware of people who are just not your speed, and they just kind of break you down instead of build you up. Some people, that's how they advance forward. They do negative self-talk, and that's how they advance forward, that's not going to work for you, is what I'm getting. I'm not really a fan of negative self-talk. I understand that some people use that to move themselves forward. I don't know, I cringe at it. I still don't know if that's really a good idea. I have a hard time believing that that's a positive thing in the long run. Everybody has to do what they have to do. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying negative self-talk, I don't know. I feel like that at some point it backlashes. It's just what I'm saying. So don't invest in that as a motivator, because I keep seeing this guru who's like a workout person, and they have TikToks where they're kind of, I feel like they're nasty. They're like, get up off the couch, go do something, go blah blah blah. They're like that on their little TikToks. I don't like it. I don't think that's motivating. For me, it's not. Other people say it is, and it's good for them. So I'm like, I guess. I feel like that has a backlash effect at some point. I could be wrong. So yeah, give yourself time. Let things come forward. Realize whatever's starting now needs time to develop, and it takes time. This is going to be a long process, but it's kind of like, I want to keep going at this, try to find a way to enjoy it as much as possible, and give it its fair time to really get the joy and happiness that you want, to actually attain that success you want. So this is a developing process. So whenever you're watching this might be something that goes many years before it actually hits that maturity that you're looking for. But the thing is, I don't feel like it has to be a struggle to get there. The only thing I would be worried about is like giving yourself the patience and care to let yourself continue to keep moving forward to finally get there. This reminds me of somebody that took 18 years to get their doctorate. I don't personally think that's a bad thing, because when they got it, they were happy with it and they did what they wanted to do. They just worked over years. I don't know how that worked out. I don't understand the whole semantics of it, because I think you have to update things over time. I don't know how that works. But I know it took a long time. I want to say it was like 18 years between when they started that program and then when they finally got the final degree. I don't know if that's even common. I really don't know. But the point is, give yourself the time to get where you want to get. It's better to like get what you want in 18 years. Not that it's going to take 18 years, but it's better to have it in 18 years rather than to be at the other end of 18 years and going, oh, if I hadn't given up on that, I'd have been, so much happier. It's kind of like after the end of 18 years, having $5 to show because you gave up versus having 50 million because you kept going with it. I mean, my personal thought is at the end of 18 years, if you ended up with 50 million instead of $5, I mean, at least you made it. At least you got it there. It doesn't have to be a struggle, but like if you kept working at it little by little and you still hit that goal, is that not worth it? I guess that's up to you. So I think I've gone on a long time with this reading. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you want a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.